Uh, Hello, gamers. How are we going, guys? Had a little bit of a rush this morning to try to get everything set up in time because I was trying to get my second streaming setup connected and functional. Hey, Twisted. Hey, Ollie. Working on Thor from Crisis Protocol. I see. I am not familiar with Crisis Protocol, so that doesn't mean a whole lot for me, but nice. Hi, hey Noah. Oh man, I just picked up the base for this dude, and it started just throwing dust everywhere. He wasn't here yesterday, sorry, it's all good. Noah, I wasn't here yesterday either. Hello, medic. Hey, so, I believe we have pretty much entirely finished the detailing for our battlesuit. I quite like how he's looking. All that's left to do now is battle damage and basing. So we'll draw some scratches on him here and there, and then it's going to make his base. Will we ever play Lethal Company? Maybe. I don't know. We will see. But yeah, I reckon what we'll get onto is we will start off just drawing some scratches on this dude. And then we'll think about what we want to do for the base as well. Because the base is essentially going to be the same as our other Tau. And so our broadside suit that we did a very long time ago, I don't think I did this on stream. This is going to be our reference for the sort of thing we want to match. I'll try to do something a little bit nicer on this base, because this is one of the first bases that I did. So I reckon I can definitely one-up this. But this is the sort of aesthetic that we're going to go for. Just adding some scratches and next to the steel drum you've been painting for practice. Yeah, that steel drum looks really good. Do I have Phasmophobia? I do have Phasmophobia. I have not played Phasmophobia in a very long time. Yeah, I don't know, like, has it been updated that much? Or not really? Because I feel like it was one of those games where it was, like, really cool, and then just stopped getting support, or it just fell off very quickly. It was just, like, one of those flavor of the month games. I'm not gonna send them any. Could you at least buy it and then get them to ship it to you? I'll think about it, Noah. Well, I'll get back to you on that one. It's in my brain. I'm thinking about it. If you, like, I reckon I need some time to think. And I don't really want to get interrupted while I'm thinking, or it might disturb the thought process, you know? So I'll get back to you on that one. Phasma is very similar in terms of gameplay loop, but it's received a ton of big updates. Right. If you ask 50,000 more times, it's guaranteed to happen. Hang on. Hold up. Ollie, whose side are you on here? On the side of chaos, clearly. Okay, so we're just wanting to get some scratches and that sort of thing all across the body of this. Just break it up a little bit, and we'll do a little bit of lead belcher through the middle of these as well. Make it look like it's chipped back to paint here and there. Or chipped back to metal, sorry, but yeah. Don't want to go too overboard. Am I doing a game stream later tonight? That is the plan. Hello, Reese. How you going, brother? I feel like the Rhinox hide is not all that visible. Might be better off doing the chips in something a bit darker. I think... What did I do these in? It looks like I did these chips in, or these scratches in black. Yeah, the Rhinox hide isn't all that visible from the looks of it. Might need to change to black rather than brown. Just because the reds in the brown are causing it to blend in a lot with the red paint job. Create chips by using a hobby knife. Yeah, but the issue then, Medic, is the chips are going to go through to the grey plastic underneath. You don't have much time to stay in the stream tonight, sorry, that's all good, Noah. You got stuff going on. Tomorrow can I do a Lethal Company stream? I don't believe I will be streaming tomorrow. So that one is gonna be a definite no. Yeah, this is definitely much better with the black as opposed to brown. Yeah, it's much more visible this way. Might I do Lethal Company tonight? I don't know, I'm not in a super Lethal Company mood lately. I don't know. Haven't played it in a while, but it's just not really appealing to me at the moment, you know? Just how it is sometimes. But yeah, I reckon today is probably going to be a pretty quiet day in general for the stream, because we're painting Tau. So I might just, like, for the gaming stream as well. I've been playing with like with my friends. We've got a Minecraft mod pack that we're playing at the moment, because there's a like, I don't know if any of you guys have this, but every couple of years, every year or 2 years or so, my friend group, we have a thing where we will just relapse and make a mod pack for Minecraft and play it for a few weeks to a month or two, and then not touch it again. And we're in the middle of that phase right now, and I haven't built my house, so I might just, like, for the stream, like for the gaming stream after we've painted for a bit, might just go onto the Minecraft server and build a house. Hello, hey Technic, why not stream Bus Simulator 21? I don't really have a proper answer for that one, not gonna lie, Medic. Don't think I've ever played any driving sims. How ew, gross, show me your broadsides. Hello, Mega Cat. So if you're not familiar with what we've been up to so far, this is the Riptide that we've been working on for a little while. Right now we're just doing the battle damage on him, so we're doing some scratches here and there, and then we're going to base it. And we're essentially just trying to make it look as similar to this broadside. I have a broadside right here, as I reference. So I was prepared for that. But yeah, this was the original one that we did, that I did probably about more than a year ago now. But that's the reference for what we're trying to match. And I'm definitely going to do a much nicer base for it than what we've got here, because this is one of the first bases that I did. Driving sims remove the thrill of driving. Yeah, I imagine, like, I don't know, yeah, I don't know if I could really get into driving sims. I showed you my Riptide, please respond. Except you literally didn't show me your Riptide Technic. Where is it? Nice, just finished making a Riptide last week, but still need to paint it. Nice. Yeah, no, I've really been enjoying this. I don't know if the others in chat have necessarily enjoyed it as much, because I feel like I am one of the lone Tau enjoyers here. But I don't care. I'm having a good time, so that's what matters for me. But yeah, because Tau were the first minis that I painted. It was a batch of stealth suits that I bought while I was on exchange in Japan. That's how I got into Warhammer. So they hold a special place in my heart. At least you're not the lone Eldar guy. Hey, look, there's nothing wrong. Like, look, it's lore accurate Eldar fan. There's not many of them. Tower fucking sick. The hate is uncalled for. Yeah, that's what I mean. They're so good. I love them. They're just good boys. You hate painting Tower? What's wrong with painting them? I feel like painting them is really satisfying. I feel like they're not too, like, at least the battle suits are not too different from Space Marines in terms of profile, like the shapes that you're painting. Because it's just lots of panels. They're just more flat panels as opposed to round panels. Gives you primordial anger. See? Lore accurate Eldar fan that's going to be on your resume. It's pricey, but what's your opinion on the Storm Surge? I don't know. I feel like it's really cool. And I am biased towards large minis because I am a Knights guy. Like most of the minis that I have, well, I've invested most in Imperial Knights. So eventually there will probably be a Storm Surge in my lineup. We'll probably get there at some point, but not for a little while at least. Yeah, because my main priority is doing my my Imperial Knights, and then my Tau battle suits are kind of like a stress relief from the slog that is trying to hand paint 2K of Knights. I reckon that's pretty good. So we can go back to doing scratches now, the black lining. Makes it fun about the white Fire Warriors at the end of it for you. Yeah, that is why I'm avoiding Fire Warriors. I'm avoiding all Tau foot soldiers because the battle suits are the cool ones. Although I do really like Kroot. So we might do some Kroot at some point. and that would probably be good for enabling my my tower to be tabletop viable. Because I imagine if I do battle suits only, we'd encounter a similar issue that knights apparently encounter, which is just lack of board control. Well, I really want to get some crisis suits as well, because I got 2 of the Christmas boxes, so that gave me 2 broadsides, 2 riptides, 2 ghost keels, and 2 commanders. But I don't have any crisis suits. I should use the fire effects from Godzilla toys to represent energy cannon fire. I don't have any Godzilla toys. I feel like that'd be a really cool idea, but I don't have any Godzilla toys to yoink those from. Buy them in bulk. Have you tried Pathfinders, your favorite infantry? I haven't, no. Yeah, I'm not... Okay, I nearly just told a massive lie. I nearly just said, I'm not super deep into Tau. Those are the words that nearly left my mouth after I just listed the fact that I bought 2 of their Christmas boxes. No, but the extent of my Tau is, I've got the broadside suit that you've seen. I've got this Riptide, and the rest of 2 Christmas boxes, and then I've got a stealth suit squad, which was my original batch of minis, and that is the extent of it for my Tau. You think I need to panel line some of these crackles that I've got here, or are they fine as is with the Nuln Oil in the recesses? I feel like they're probably fine, and I think if I try to panel line that, I might just make an absolute mess of it. Emperor's Children released today. I thought they were already out, or as in like the individual minis are releasing now. Played any games with Tau? They aren't in a great spot at the moment. No, I've not played any Warhammer tabletop period. I am purely in the painting side of the hobby at the moment. The goal is to someday get to the gaming side, but unfortunately I am an unbelievably slow painter. And I don't want to play with unpainted minis. So for me, it's just a matter of like, yeah, as far as I'm concerned at the moment, it doesn't matter too much about tabletop viability. I'm just painting what I think is cool. Got a commander and a cold star, ghost keel, riptide, 3 broadsides, 3 piranhas, 2 hammerheads, skyray, 2 stealth suit squads, 1 breacher team, 9 crisis suits, and 6 crude box sets. Jeez, Twisted, Jesus. Nice. How many points does that come to? That easily clears 2k, no? Like, you'd be sitting, what, like 3.5k with that? Wait, 9 crisis. Oh, hang on, no. Okay, you'd easily, yeah, that'd easily clear 3.5k, no? Oh wait, 9 Kroot boxed sets. Is that more than just like a squad of Kroot? You clear 2k easy. Yeah, that is a lot of tower. Kroot army boxes. So what's included in the Kroot army box? Is it just, does it give you just like a mix of all the different Kroot units? So regular Kroot, and then you get some Kroot hounds, Kroot oxes, and a shaper or two. Went mental for Kroot when they released them again. Yeah, I really like Kroot. I don't know why, like I've seen that a lot of people really don't like Kroot. But I think they're awesome. Love the Lone Spear. Oh, right, yeah. I didn't even think of the Kroot Lone Spear because, like, my initial exposure to Kroot was in Dawn of War Dark Crusade. So the only Kroot units that I remember are the ones that were in that. I completely forgot that they have just like a Krootox riding. Oh, it's not. He's not on a Krootox. He's on a different Kroot variant, isn't he? He's just got a fucking huge spear. Quite cool. Rides a weird axolotl thing. Yeah. When in doubt, he rides a Kroot. They are all Kroot at the end of the day. This Kroot guy with the spear riding a Kroot. And as a man with 2 axolotls, you love the little guy. Axolotls are really cool. It kind of slipped my mind, the possibility that people can just keep an axolotl as a pet. But I guess that does make sense. Okay, so that's a really thick scratch we've got here, so we'll do some metallic lining through the middle of that one. One thing you wish they would have come out with was a plastic kit for the greater Narlock. Yeah. Is there a resin kit for the greater Narlock? Because you say that as though there is a greater Narlock in existence, but it's just not plastic. Hey, hi, hello, hello. Long ago, there was a resin kit. Right. Okay, so now I can come back through with our lead belcher for the thicker scratches. Yeah, I'm really hoping that by the end of the day here, or I'd say by the end of the day, by the end of this stream, we got more or less 4 hours that I've scheduled for this. I'm hoping that by then we have at least made a start on the basing of this guy. I want to be basing by the end of the stream. Not necessarily painting the base, but at least somewhat of the way through assembling it, or thinking of how we're going to assemble it. 3.5 hours remaining. Yeah, we'll see how we go. Oh, I made a mess of that one. Oh, well. The paint dried on the brush a little bit, and so the shape wasn't quite what I was expecting it to be. I think I might have made that bit a little bit too thick. We'll see how it looks though. A bit thick for my liking. Although, honestly, it's actually pretty good there. Put a bit of your grit in the Discord when I'm not looking at painting. I'll have a quick look in a second, because I remember the ones you posted when you first showed up in the stream, and I remember seeing the stock of the rifle that he had, and just the wood grain on that was so nice. That fertilizer you posted and a hound. Righto, let's see. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the wood grain on that rifle is so good. Just came back to the stream. What's happened? Not a whole lot, medic. I've just been painting scratches on the legs still. This isn't like the Dead Space streams where it's blink and you miss it. Oh shit, I missed Shell's shitting his pants. This is a pretty laid back one today. Have a dozen lined up to start, just need to prime and get moving on them. And that's always like the insurmountable first step is you've got them you've got them built, you've got them sitting there waiting for you, but it's just a matter of putting paint to pen, or paint to, I was gonna say paint to pen? What? It's like trying to come up with like a painting equivalent of pen to paper, and it broke my brain. This feels this weird ass cabinet. Hey, it's not weird. It's really cool. It's part of my my strategy to become a fully fledged wizard. It's part of the repellent that I've amassed. Okay. I reckon that's all the scratches for the legs done. Don't want to go too overboard, putting scratches absolutely everywhere. That should be enough for that arm. This shield here, though, I reckon would be pretty scratched up. But again, I don't know how hard we want to go with it. They've been trying to simulate the coat of a brindle mastiff. Ooh. Very cool. Bought some Marines to paint up various chapters. I think that might be what I do with like the remainder of my Leviathan box. Rather than make them all Dark Angels, I really want to do some Blood Ravens at some point. So I might just paint all the Marines in my Leviathan box as like a smattering of different chapters. That way I get to have a bit more fun with the variety. Going to do a couple of them in the half-half scheme. What is the half-half scheme? Enjoyed painting Exorcists, but you think you're gonna go full bore into Red Scorpions? I can't think of what either of their color schemes are. I'll have to have a look in a second. Half one color, half another. If you get a clean line, it looks so good. Right, okay, so just like a perfect split down the middle. I think I might have gone a little overboard with the with the scratches on this arm. Ah, well, it is what it is. Whoops. Okay, so now we'll come back through with our lead belcher for these thicker ones. That is way too thick. Yikes, that is not good. So if I can pull this in both directions. might fix it a little bit. That one's not great though. Okay. And that's the battle damage for that arm done. Now it's just the torso. Then we can get onto the base. I reckon that's enough damage to put on the white panel. Just enough to sort of break it up and make it look chipped. I don't want to go too overboard with it. Oh, you're willing to make me an offer. Oh yeah, Noah. And what is this offer that you're willing to make? Now bear in mind, an offer generally implies that there are things happening in both directions. Instead of me getting you a box of minis, I get a box of Custodes Wardens and paint them. Are you suggesting that you are going to get me a box of Custodes Wardens so that I can paint them? It's quite generous of you, Noah. Do you think they'd look great in my style? I don't even know what my style is. I don't think I have a painting style. I just... I feel like I spend way too long painting just to cut corners that other people would not cut. Like, I barely edge highlight or anything like that. I don't do non-metallic metal. I get them myself. What? No. What? Everyone has a style whether they realize it or not? Yeah, I guess so. I guess whenever I hear the word style, I imagine someone who is good at painting. And for me, it's like, I'm just, I don't know, I'm just doing whatever's easiest for me, really. Custodies would look great in mine. Well, I appreciate the confidence in that one. But I've got so many things that I want to work on already. I want to add additional factions to that list. Welcome to the Jack and Noah show. Hey, Gavin. Don't knock it till you try it. Yeah, well, yeah, in any case, the issue is custodians have never been super high on my list of priorities. And also, I've just got, like, so many other things that I want to work on. Also, Shelly, you're down bad. Yeah, true and real. I think you're just jealous, Noah. I reckon you're just sad that you don't have the funds to obtain a sick pair of anime cabinets like me. Didn't know I had a shelf full of down bad figures. Hey, I will have you know that most of them are quite tasteful. That's gross in your opinion. You just haven't, you haven't come into yourself yet, Noah. It's about being confident in the things that you like, mate. Most more like none. No, I like how you've made that judgment from the really pixelated photo that was posted in general. They're disgusting. Ugh, yuck. Okay, down bad Shay. Jelly, yeah, no. Look, Noah, I'm sorry, it just sounds like you're coping, mate. You're just jealous. It's alright, nothing to be ashamed of. I'm sure that you'll have the money to spend on nice things eventually. Like some high quality anime figures. Rather be 80-year-old you than 20-year-old sounding. What? I don't understand. One day your goon cave will rival mine. Yeah, that's the thing, Noah. Every man needs a goon cave. Gotta go to sleep for the tourney. See ya. Alright, I'll catch you later, Noah. Have fun at your tournament. Yeah, I reckon I won't do any scratches on the inside edges, or very few, because these would be more shielded from these sorts of scratches anyway. I'll just have a couple here and there. Yeah, and then we'll be able to move on to our base soon. Okay, so we just need a couple of little scratches on the inside of here, and then we'll come back through with our lead belcher just to do the insides of some of the thicker scratches. Okay. Just about there now. He's referencing Killshot. I see. I'm not musically educated enough for like to understand lyrical references to those sorts of things. So just went straight past me. If it wasn't, then you don't know. That's the line verbatim. I see. Yeah, I imagine he probably was just quoting it, because otherwise there's no reason, like, it, like, I didn't even understand what he was saying. Like, it was not related to anything in the conversation. He just said it. He just likes the line. Okay, I think that is everything for our battle damage now. Yeah. That's all the paint for the Riptide done. Once we base it, we'll add a little bit of desert dust and that sort of thing to tie it all back together. But at least as far as the baseline mini itself is concerned, we are finished. And yeah, I quite like it. I'm happy with how it looks. So now it'll just be a matter of making a base and blending it in. Now, as far as the base goes, I don't really know what kind of base I want to do for it. Like, I think maybe since he's got his legs spread so far, originally he was going to be kneeling, but I think I went a bit too far with the leg spread, so instead I think we're going to have him just fucking sprinting. Over terrain. And it has to be rough terrain because the feet also don't sit down evenly because I fucked up the angle on them. So you see, if I hold him like this, he's sort of offset, so he has to be running. So I reckon we'll have front foot planted, back foot kicked like that. And he'll be mid-sprint with gun raised. So I reckon we'll pose him and glue him together, and then we'll build the base. Been a little while since we've cracked out the plastic cement. Get that delicious banana smell circulating the room. Because yeah, this is the sort of angle that I reckon we want to have for the leg or for the feet. A mid sprint like that. Just need to make sure we have the body angled the way we want it to be. So I reckon like that will be good. Now you just need to make sure it sets nicely. And yeah, once we have the angle for everything fully sorted, it'll then come down to a matter of gluing the feet in the right angle as well, because they still have a bit of movement to them, so I'll need to get some super glue in there just to set them. But I reckon what we'll do is the feet we'll keep them pliable for the time being, because we'll want to sort of adjust them a little bit to fold to the shape of the base as we put it together. Thinking what we could do is front foot is going to be planting on the base like this. have the back foot like kicking some dirt up or something. We'll have some rocks that he's going on to. I don't know if I can get some dirt or something that he'll be like throwing back. Maybe I have the remains of maybe I'll get some putty or something, some milliput here, and we crush into it the shape of his foot, and then like dig it out and flick it back. I don't know. It sounds cool in theory. It'd look cool in like a piece of art, like a still, but I don't know how I would convert that into like an actual part of the base, like a 3D model. I think set there. Torso is set in. Now let's think about how we want to pose the gun. Or do we want to do shield first? If I have milliput, I can make it look like chucked up rocks. Yeah, I want to have... Oh, hang on. Okay, yeah, we can have the shield down like that. And then the gun forward like this. That could be good. Also, I think I just shifted his body. Pretty sure I just shifted the angle of the torso. It wasn't fully set. Yeah. Yikes. I think I'm probably gonna have to super glue it together. I think the small amounts of paint that are on here are interfering with the drying of the plastic cement. Yeah, they're making it sort of hard for the plastic cement to dry nicely, so we'll be super gluing this all instead. Okay, so the gun, mid-sprint, maybe we'll hold off on the arms until we've sorted out the base, because then we can see what angle he's at. Okay, so we'll set him aside for the time being, and let's figure out what shape we want the base. First of all, where are we? Orc skulls. Our base is for, so it's desert base, orc skulls on the base. Those are our conditions, our minimum conditions. Are those Tau skulls? They are Tau skulls. I didn't notice that last time. honestly, I could probably do a mix of Necron and Orc parts. So I've got this failed Canoptic Doomstalker. So I could use parts of it as well. I think it might be a bit big. Maybe I'll save this for night bases or something like that. Yeah, I reckon we'll save the Canoptic Doomstalker for a bigger mini. Say at least for desert base, these are probably the textures that we'll work with. We've got some big rocks, medium rocks, little rocks, skulls, other rocks, and then we can milliput some other stuff as well. And of course we'll use a Grelin Earth for the colors for most of it. I'm just trying to think. I could probably use this to build up a couple of layers of height, just a little bit here and there, just to give it a bit more variation. Yeah, I can probably use a couple of these cork coasters just to build a little bit of height to it. I'm going to quickly go and grab Nub Maker from the next room, because it's going to be much easier to work with it rather than other knife I have. So I'll be back in a sec. Okay. 2 times you've gotten cork, you've gotten a ½ inch instead of 1/4 inch, and it brings you sadness. Right, well this is far less than 1/4 inch. This is like a millimeter. This is a 25th of an inch. So I need to use a fair bit of these. Like a fair few of these to build any height to them. But yeah, I got a lot of them when I was in Japan, so I'm just working my way through them. And then I'll restock at some point when I run out. But in terms of building height for this, at least. I think this should be fine. So essentially I'd just be looking at grabbing this and then tearing that. back like that. And if I go one high over here, and then just shape it something like this. I think this is going to be nice, at least for just getting a little bit of distinction in the height of the base. And we'll go over all of this with a Grelin Earth, just to give it the crackle, but just so that we have a bit of distinction in the shape of the floor. I don't like when it's perfectly flat. Yeah, I reckon that'll be an okay start at least. So, sections that we want to cover will be how am I going to do this? I guess we'll glue the underside of this, and then once it's on, then we can go and re-glue the very edges of it. Okay, and now then this one we just want to put down here. Out there, be good. And I'm hoping I'll have enough super glue to do most of this, because I'm pretty sure I'm running low. And this is my last bottle. And once all this is set, we're going to want to come around the outside edge and clean up these bits that are hanging over like that. Mr. White Putty does a good job of locking down terrain. When you say Mr. White Putty, you're referring to something like Milliput? Or is it like a specific putty? Because all I've got on hand is super glue, PVA glue. Oh, actually, I've got contact cement. That's probably a good one that I can use that work on these things. Because I have contact cement, but I don't use it often because, or contact adhesive. I don't use it often because it doesn't work on resin. But it works on everything else, so I should use this instead of my super glue. That one will go. That. A bit runnier than Milliput and dries and sets quickly. Right. Well, I do not have that on hand, so we'll just have to try to make do with what we've got. Oh, I think I did this the wrong way around. I think I had intended to do this like that. Ah, well. It is what it is. That dry there. Then this one here will need to be a bit shorter. A bit narrower. Like that. Yeah, that'll be good. So, This is purely just the foundation. And over that, we're going to... Now we're going to build rocks and that sort of thing over the top of this. So I might just start cleaning up the edges of this now. It's not going to be perfectly even, but I just don't want it to extend beyond the edge of the base, because it looks a bit sad. Yeah, it definitely looks a lot nicer when I chew up the edges like this. Makes it look more natural. Much prefer that texture. That's a pretty good start. Now, the cork that we have for the base does pretty well for just giving like minor variation in the base height, but I still want to have like some pretty significant altitude differences in it. So I want to maybe see if I can create a proper platform out of these flat bricks that I've got here, so that I can get something with decent height to it that he's either stepping on or kicking off of. So, because if we look at where he's, the direction he's moving in, if we have him going this way, what's the step gonna look like? Because he'll be stepping like here. I could essentially have him carving out a section. Or if I have him stepping up onto a rock, then he's not mid-sprint. I could have him, yeah, stepping up onto a rock, like up here. But the angle of the feet doesn't really work for standing. It really is a running pose that he's in. I reckon what I can do is I plant his front foot there, and then his back foot, if I have the toe here, I can have it flicking rocks out. So what I might do, I might just plant his foot as far forward as I can here. So that I can sort of mark where I want to have his back toe. So we'd plant him like there. Toe there. And we'd have a rock about where I've marked there. And so now that I've marked that, I don't have to worry about where I put his front foot, because now I can just go, okay, so the tip of his back toe needs to go there. Put his back toe like that. Now we know that, essentially, I need to have a rock coming out like that. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I feel like I'm really complicating this. Because the sort of thing that I'm imagining is like, I can get some little bits. The sort of thing that I'm imagining is like his foot is hitting the ground, and then there's like a sheet of rock that's being kicked up, and then several other rocks that are shooting off that, flying off into the air behind it. I wonder if this is doable, actually. That could... But I visualize it like that, it's actually pretty good. And seems plausible. What did I just do with them? I had two bits that I liked. I can't see them anymore. Okay, it was that one there. be like that, and then I'm gonna have a rock like that. The thing is, I feel like this is a really delicate thing that I'm doing. I feel like it would break very easily. We'll just have to see how it actually works. That'll be like that. And this bit will be coming out like that. And while that dries, let's do another one at the other side. Something like this, perhaps. Yeah, because I think if we can turn this into like a chunk of rock being kicked up by his foot, I think this would be really, really good. It's just a matter of actually making it work. If this holds, it'll be good. If it doesn't hold, then it's just going to be a bit of a waste of time. But you got to try. I think there's probably not enough glue for this right hand section here. Oh man, I am running out of glue though. I'm definitely running out of super glue. Got a slot in the base for the rock. Yeah, probably not a bad idea. We'll just have to see if we can get this to hold together in the first place. And if it does hold together, then we'll be looking pretty good. Because essentially that's going to be coming up like that. Where else would bits be getting thrown? I guess we want to have a section breaking out to the side like this. We want it to be sort of concave because it's going to be shaped around his foot. And then we'll have little bits being thrown out that way. Yeah, so I reckon we do that and then one more sheet on the right hand side and then a couple more little bits getting thrown out from here. Some tiny rocks splitting off of these, I reckon will make it look really good. Get another wide sheet like that. I have a better shaped one. I reckon this one will be better. Coming out like that. And then a couple more little rocks splitting from it, and I reckon that should be decent. And I'm wondering if it might be easier to fix this in the correct position by actually painting it and gluing it directly to his foot and then placing his foot in position. Oops, shit. Well, it survived the drop test, I guess. This is so fragile. I'm convinced this is going to work out to be a huge waste of my time, and it's not going to work. Or I'm just going to break it very quickly. Okay, so at that angle, I reckon we need some lower lying bits as well. It can't just all be coming up as a sheet. Oh shit. Yep, there it is. That was one of the first ones I glued on and it fell apart. Ankles on that model were always a pain. Anyway, can you reposition the feet? I can move, I can rotate the I can pitch the feet forward and back, but I can't do the, I can't change the side to side angle of the feet. Okay. Hopefully, this will be enough. I'm gonna set this aside somewhere where I hopefully won't bump it. We'll leave that to dry for the time being. And if there are any other issues with it, we can always glue more bits on or get back to it in some way. As for the rest of the base, I want to have, yeah, a bit of, I want to have a decent bit of vertical height on this. Because he's going to be running like that. Maybe to justify the fact that he's angled weirdly, I could have a pillar here that so it looks like he's trying to squeeze past it. Just like a stack of rocks. Although, I don't know if just a stack of rocks on their own is all that. Maybe, okay, the stack of rocks on its own, not that good, but it's all about perspective, and we need to remember that this stack of rocks does not look all that impressive until we realize that it's almost the size of a person. If there is a way that we can maybe get this to be the height of a person and then get some skulls there for scale, then that will put it all into reference. I reckon with perspective, it can be good. I might actually do is let's cut out a couple of let's cut out and prepare a couple of orc skulls, just that I have them to sort of stage this with. My clip is gone. There they are. Out of left field, but have you ever seen the Stargate movie? No, I've one of my friends is very into Stargate in general, but I've never seen Stargate before, the show or the movie. It's a shame. Movie was pretty amazing. Yeah, my friend who likes Stargate, he is very into it. Like he loves it because he watched the show a lot when he was little, and yeah, he's like historically just preached it to everyone in our friend group. Like, yo, you guys should watch this. But yeah, I never really was all that intrigued. I don't know, I've never really been super interested in a lot of like space sci-fi. Just hasn't grabbed me. You could never get into the show. Hellstream. Shut up, Mac. That's the first thing you say when you get here. It's a weird statement for someone who's doing exactly what you're doing right this minute. What with the not being able to get into space sci-fi? I feel like Warhammer manages to dodge a lot of the traps of space sci-fi because it's like it's like fantasy. 40k is much more fantasy than it is like traditional space adventure sci-fi. You don't like fantasy? Well, I mean, like, I feel like sci-fi and fantasy are pretty entwined a lot of the time, but I feel like for me it's the it's specifically the sci-fi that leans a lot into space adventure, which just is not all that intriguing to me. Won't disagree with you that the statement seems like an odd one on the surface. Yeah, I can see why it would cause confusion. Just realized that I probably could have used this instead of trying to make my own shattering rock. I could have just put his foot here. But I guess it doesn't look like he's shattering the rock there. It'd just be something that he's kicking off. The thing about the movie, though, is that it's not a space adventure. Has deeper themes, which is in contrast to the TV shows. Oh, okay. Yeah, because that's like what was like my friend always described to me, like the whole thing with like whenever he described Stargate to me, it did just sound like a generic sort of space adventure TV show. So I was never all that interested. TV shows more like Star Trek. Yeah, and again, like I never really watched Star Trek for the same reason. Like, for me, the closest thing I had was Doctor Who, and Doctor Who was like that was kind of like the sci-fi adventure show that I watched growing up, and it didn't go like hardcore into the space side of it a lot. Like most of the time, it was just low budget. Oh, we are in England. Oh, we are in old England. And there were the occasional space, like, things set on a space station. But yeah, it was, I don't know. Even still, Doctor Who, I'm not a huge fan of anymore, anyway. You know, as they use the P90 because it looks futuristic. Is this in Stargate or Star Trek? I imagine probably Stargate. I don't think Star Trek does much in the way of military things, does it? Stargate, right, yeah. Well, even though my friend will almost certainly no doubt if I do, you recommend watching the movie at least once? Maybe. I think I don't watch a lot of movies in general. I don't... I feel like every time you suggest something to me, I'm like, I don't really do that. Like, you're like, yeah, you should try listening to these bands. I'm like, I don't really listen to a lot of music. You should watch this movie. I don't really watch a lot of movies. It's like, what the fuck do I do? paint miniatures, and I poo my pants playing Dead Space. Yeah, you're sticking the one. Yep, I have heard that before. Come and cry, true and real. Golden just goons all day. Yeah, what do you think I'm doing with my third arm right now? And never leaves the house. Shut up, Zilla. I leave the house occasionally. Get out of my lane and I stay in it. Look, it's a simple life I lead. Yeah, I don't know. I probably have... I'm probably on the spectrum to a degree. Because it's like, when people are trying to... When friends are like trying to organize things... like organize get-togethers and stuff. If it's if it's like sprung up like a sudden plan in the next day or two, most of the time I'll be like, nah, I'm not interested, sorry, I need forewarning. Even if I'm free on that day, it'll be like, I don't know, I will just be against doing it just because my brain just tells me, nah, it's too sudden, I can't do this. I need to have at least a week's notice. One day, the people who partook in the Guardians of the Galaxy incident will reveal themselves. Oh man, that was a that was a wild ride. Yeah, one of the Guardians of the Galaxy boys is the Star Trek guy. Actually, we're gonna raid a village tomorrow, and you've got to come. What do you mean? What is going on? Oh, no. Look, as under normal circumstances, I would love to join you in the raiding of a village. Unfortunately, tomorrow is too short of a notice. If we do it next week, I will bring all of my, I will bring the weapons, I will supply the getaway vehicle, but, you know, tomorrow is just too soon. Okay, how high do we want this, this rock pillar to be? Front toes there, back foot there. I guess it can't be too high because we don't want it to obstruct his gun. I reckon we can probably go one higher. running out of basing materials, or at least the these thick rock chunks. I'll need to get some more, because I do like these ones. And so then we'll get a rock here, and then I reckon what we do is we start placing some shorter or some smaller pebbles around the edges. Seriously can't commit to playing a video game tomorrow because it's too short notice. So actually, if it is buying a new game and playing it, that if I'm asked, hey, there's this new game we found, do you want to let's buy it and play it this evening? It's like 4 hours from now. I'll be like, I don't know. And I'll look at the game and I'm like, it looks neat. I don't really feel like playing it today though. I'd play it with the boys, but I don't really feel like doing it today. And like, that's just how, I don't know, my brain is just fucked. This is a common occurrence and my friends hate me for it. That's rough. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just a picky little bastard. Yeah, I just realized that I made this symmetrical and it's annoying me. I don't want it to, oh, that's so gross. Why did I do that? You're having trouble deciding if you want to commit yourself to going to Baltimore for the 4th time this year, and that seems indecisive to you. Yeah, no, I'm indecisive on the most mundane of things. Like, that's a significant decision you're making. Get a few orc skulls and bottom jaws. Can't imagine not being able to commit to something, even if you don't have anything else going on, just because it's too short notice. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just fucking weird, you know? Want a lot of orc skulls for this. We're all weird? Yeah, I'm just weird in a way that's mildly infuriating for anybody who wants to do anything with me. Think you'd have to go over to my house to drag me out of it to go have some fun. Yeah, the thing is, like, if I don't have anything on as well, I will just be sleeping. Like, I cannot bring myself to do shit. And so if I don't have anything that I'm doing, I will just sleep the day away. Which is why streaming is really good for me, because it's like, on days when I don't have anything on, I will make sure I schedule a stream, that way I have to do something. Anyone else have YouTube decide to change how things are formatted on their screen today? At some point today, it just decided to make all the thumbnails bigger. Have not noticed anything on my end. I haven't had a look at the viewer side of YouTube today, though. So instead of having about 6 videos across per line, you have 4. Hang on, okay, I'm actually going to have a look now. I'm intrigued. Oh, oh, oh. Yeah. It did. I'm 4 videos per line now. Okay. That's weird. It's like 4 videos per line, and then there's a gap off to the right where like a 5th video should be. Okay, next up. It's gonna be some PVA glue. And we'll get some smaller pebbles around our big rock stacks. Have you ever read the Ajin Demi-Human manga? No, I watched the anime though, and the anime was decent. It was weird. The 3D animation was weird, but I liked it. You started reading it the other day and you're furious you spent money on this shit. I watched it many years ago, but yeah, I thought it wasn't too bad. $36 down the drain. Rip. Look dark as hell, so you figured you'd give it a try. It's just lame. Not really dark at all. Yeah. I feel like it doesn't really manage to hit a lot of like the... Like, it's not as dark as like Elfen Lied. And I feel like Elfen Lied is like the kind of thing where it's like, I'm 13 and this is edgy. Or I'm 13 and this is dark. Kind of... manga slash anime. Yeah, I feel like it was going for the same sort of thing that Elfenlied was going for, but it didn't manage to hit that note. 1,400 pages and you couldn't care if care about the main character at all. I wouldn't care if he died. It doesn't matter to you. Yeah, the main character in that is true. The main character in Ajin is not interesting at all. I don't even remember his name. I remember I liked one of the side characters way more. It was like one of the secondary protagonists. I liked him way more. Because in Ajin, it's the main character. He's the guy who his ghost thing is kind of sentient. Is that he's that one, isn't he? And he can make lots of them. Could be, you don't know. 1,400 pages and you don't know anything about him other than he's an emotionless asshole. I see, okay. Yeah, no, there's like... It's part of the reason why you're pissed off you spent so much money or spent money on this shit. Yeah, no, at least in the anime, the villain who's like, there's like an old man and he's voiced by like that one voice actor, that one Japanese voice actor who voices all of the evil old men. And that was like one of the big redeeming factors of the anime, at least, was that old guy carried the show so hard. Was that the character Hat? I don't remember. I don't remember what his name was. It was many years ago that I watched the anime. I watched it when it came out. So that would have been like 2015, I want to say. This is another thing that pisses you off, me, guys. It's just Hat. Did you ever read Bones? No, I did not. So, I think I mentioned this before, but I've never really been like a big manga guy. I don't know. Never really been one to read those mangoes. So you become reluctant to try anything new? Just are tired of spending money on stuff that's just garbage? Yeah, it is a mood. That is definitely... it is an experience that is too common. Or people think things are so amazing and then you read it and you're stuck wondering what the fuck people think are seeing this shit. What was the most recent thing you had that experience with? Three-body problem? I'm not familiar with that one. What is that? I've never heard of it. Sci-Fi E, they had a show for it on Netflix last year. Oh, okay. I really need to figure out a neater way of doing this with the base. Like, I feel like this is a pretty decent way of doing it, but I still end up getting so much shit all over my desk. Then, like, when I'm done, I have to, like, sweep everything off the desk into my hand and then try to recycle some of it. Just pat that into where the glue is. Only part you found interesting was that it incorporates China under the rule of Mao and all his evil bullshit. Yeah, something you don't often see in media because people want to keep their their Chinese viewer base. Just thinking. This actually looks quite nice with all of like the really thick stuff here built up. I want to lock it in as is. What do we do? Do we get some PVA on top and then or some PVA mixed with water and then see if it just like locks through it, like goes over and sort of fills into it, or how we do that? Where's a shit brush? Looks like peanuts. Yeah, I'm not going to eat it though. It is not peanuts. I'm pretty sure. I haven't tried eating it. Doesn't smell like peanuts. Oh, is it isopropyl? Is that what you do? Isopropyl with PVA? You eat it? Like, you can. I don't think you should. Okay, so now we get a shitty paintbrush that we do not care about at all. Just add a lot of water to this. Just see if we can thin this out a lot. Okay. We'll try just picking up little bits of it, and it did not work the way I was hoping it would. I pick it up. It's got too much tension. It's not really going on. It's not dropping. I feel like it is isopropyl alcohol that sort of helps it. One second, I'm gonna go and get some isopropyl alcohol. I'll be right back. I'm back. Okay, so I think that if I just get a little bit of isopropyl on here. We'll activate the PVA that's underneath and cause it to come up to the surface. I have no idea if that's actually how this works or not. Okay, I don't know if this is actually working or not. I have a feeling it's not. Just trying to see how EVA reacts with the isopropyl. Sort of becomes very stringy when you... Was not expecting that interaction. That's a weird one. Ugh, that's nasty. Oh, yuck. Well, I figured out how to turn PVA glue into strings. Kinda gross. Got that all over my hand now. Ugh. Okay, this is going to be a matter of hang on, it is sitting there, and I'm not sure if that's just because of the surface tension of all the liquid that's on it, or it's because it is actually glued on. I don't know how to seal that shit in there. Do we think if I put a varnish over it, that will seal it? Or help hold it in there? The thing is, if I varnish it, then it'll be hard to get the texture when I'm actually painting it. So I'm scared that when I come through to undercoat it, the spray paint will just send it flying everywhere. This could just ruin everything. We'll see if I turn it upside down. Just tap it a few times. Okay, it seems to me as though it's actually glued on there. I don't know how or why, but something that we did worked. now we just figure out where we want to put our skulls. I'm thinking near the front. Thinking somewhere like on this this pile of rocks. Ooh, that's a burp. So skull there. Be a good one. And have them sort of along here. Or maybe in the ditch along here would be good as well. Yeah, I reckon this will take a while to set, so we won't be priming this today at least. just because I don't want to try blowing air at it while it is still wet. Got a whole bunch of polished plastic just for deadheads and terrain on your own bases. And how am I gonna glue my mini to the base if it's already based using technique? Oh yeah, so essentially I'm gonna set up the base. I've planned out where I'm going to be putting the mini to begin with, and so we're gonna make the base, paint it and everything, and then glue the mini on afterwards. So I already know where the mini's going, or where the mini is going to be standing. It's going to have its foot planted right there. And then it's just a matter of putting the other foot down in the right spot. Although, good point, I should have been periodically double checking to make sure the space where its foot was going to be was clear. I'll just confirm that now. Need to point his toe as much as possible. Then that will go like that. Then the other foot will be held back like this. Yeah, so I should move this skull, because this skull is in the way of one of the toes. I should move this skull, it's glued down quite firmly. Fuck, I just made a mess pulling the skull up. Ah well. It's not too bad, it is what it is. Okay, that should be good. That'll be fine there. And so now should have space where, yep, foot goes there. Turn him a little bit, because then other toe is going to be there. And yeah, it's kicking off the ground there, so we'll have our shattered rock coming out that way. So, what we can actually do now is try to put our shattered rock on there. Need a fair bit of glue for this. We have room to play. So we want it to sit quite well. So if I recall, going to need to be at about that sort of angle like that. Probably more back like this. Kind of just guessing as to what the angle should be for this. Just hoping for the best. Once this is dried, I'll, oh, yeah, emphasis on the once this is dried part, but yeah, once this has dried, we'll have a look and see how good we got the positioning. Need to have a lot of glue there just to build up the section there and give it support. Not a lot of surface area that we're working with. Having a few bits of our stone on the ground around there as well, just flat, will help give the effect that the ground's being shattered. Let's try yet? Not quite. Let's just eyeball it, see how close we are. Toes go there. Alright, I think that'll be good. I think we've got the positioning correct. You guys didn't see what I did there, because it was just out of frame, but I think the positioning of this rock, of the shattered stone, should be good. Just gotta make sure it sets nicely. And then we might need to add some more stones around the foot where it's making contact, just to make sure it looks nice. Meantime, I've got one more skull that we can put on the base somewhere. What angle is looking a little bit bare? I reckon from back here. Still looking a bit empty, so put him there, and then that'll be good. Okay. Yeah, as far as basing goes, I think this is a pretty cool one. He's going to have his foot planted there, and he's going to be mid-sprint. So that is like kicking up the stone behind him. I think this is probably one of the more dynamic ones I've done, at least. I just really hope this thing back here can set nice and firm. Maybe a bit of glue on the underside would be good. Yeah, there's not a lot of glue on the underside. Push that in underneath. You just learned something funny? Go on. Robin Thicke's album Paula sold 158 copies in its first week in Australia. This is a different language, Gavin. I don't know if you're testing me or what's going on here, but that was not English. I don't know who Robin Thicke is. Robin Thicke. Who is that? And why is the first image that comes up one of him with someone's feet almost in his mouth? $158 is a terrible number. I imagine I gathered as much. Yeah, like I know that 158 is a horrible number for a week. But I just don't know who he is. You don't have to know who he is? Okay. American singer who had a super big hit years ago. Right. Where did... Oh, there it is. Because I think we've probably done all that we can on this today, because I need to give this good time to dry, because PVA takes forever. But yeah, realistically, all that's left to do now is paint the base and then apply the like the desert dust to our guy's feet, and then also glue him onto the base and glue his feet in position so they're not wobbling around like this. But yeah, overall, I reckon we're probably good to call this stream for today. There's nothing else really for me to paint at the moment to do with this. Pretty happy with the result we've gotten for it. Zoom that in. And I'm hoping like that the shattered rock that we have at the back here is going to set in position and stay there, because I think it's quite cool. I like it. I'm happy with that bit. And yeah, we've got our stacks of rocks, our pile of things, and some skulls and shit, and we've done all the battle damage on our Riptide, so we'll just need to put him on, put his arms on, and yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna clean up my desk and then probably stream a game in half an hour or so. But yeah, thanks for hanging around. Hope you enjoy the rest of your night, and I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.